Something is happening right now with XRP that almost nobody on YouTube is connecting. And if you're watching Jake Claver videos about the domino theory and nodding along, but you haven't built an actual plan for what happens when those dominoes fall, this video could be the most important 20 minutes you spend this week. Because the dominoes are falling right now, and most holders are going to watch it happen and still lose money. If you're serious about XRP and you want analysis that actually gives you a framework, not just hype, subscribe right now. I break down what other channels won't touch because I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm here to make sure you're positioned to win. Let me tell you what triggered this video. I was watching Common Sense Crypto break down the latest geopolitical situation, the Iran strikes, oil prices spiking, and Jake Claver's domino theory playing out almost to the letter. And Rich made some excellent points. He said Claver's timeline was wrong, but his theory is still spot on. He mentioned Tether almost depegging. He mentioned BlackRock. He talked about XRP price targets anywhere from $11 to triple digits. And I was sitting there watching thinking, okay, this is all incredibly bullish. But what does the viewer actually do with this information? Because here's the thing, nobody is saying out loud. Being right about XRP and making money from XRP are two completely different things. You can be 100% correct that the domino theory plays out, that regulations pass, that institutions flood in, and still walk away broke. I've seen it happen in every single cycle, and what I found when I dug into the data behind each domino is going to completely change how you think about your XRP position right now. Let me set the stage with what's actually happening on the ground today. XRP is trading at approximately $1.39 as I'm recording this. We've come off 5 consecutive red months. 5. The fear and greed index is sitting at 11, which is extreme fear territory. And yet here's what's fascinating. While retail is panicking, the smart money is doing something very different. Crypto quant data shows that roughly 200 million XRP has flowed off Binance in just the last 10 days. The supply ratio on Binance dropped from 0.027 to 0.025. That doesn't happen because small retail accounts are moving coins. That's institutional level movement. And since the start of 2026, 3.8 billion XRP has moved from whale wallets into Binance, but exchange reserves are still declining. Think about that for a second. Billions flowing in, but the net supply on exchanges keeps shrinking. That means someone is buying everything that comes in and moving it straight to cold storage. Tell me in the comments, does that sound like distribution to you? Or does that sound like accumulation? Now let me walk you through what I call the missing domino. Jake Claver's theory goes like this, and I'm going to simplify it. Oil spikes. Japan adjusts interest rates. They rotate out of US treasuries. Bond market gets flooded. Stablecoin legislation absorbs those treasuries. Tether potentially depegs. Exchanges need alternative liquidity. XRP steps in as the global bridge currency. The theory is elegant. And honestly, when you look at what's happening right now with oil prices climbing after the Iran situation, with Japan's economy shifting, with the Clarity Act heading toward a critical vote, it's hard to argue that the sequence isn't at least partially in motion. But here's what Rich's video didn't tell you. Here's what Jake Claver's theory doesn't address. And this is the part that separates people who just hold XRP from people who actually build generational wealth from it. The theory tells you what could happen. It doesn't tell you when each domino triggers, how long the gaps are between dominoes, or most importantly, what you should be doing during those gaps. Because those gaps, that's where most people get destroyed. That's where the shakeouts happen. That's where you see XRP drop 40% in 2 months, like it just did from its July 2025 highs near $3.66 down to where we are now. And people panic sell right before the next domino falls. If this is opening your eyes, hit that like button right now. Let me know I'm on the right track. Let me give you a concrete example of why the gaps matter more than the dominoes themselves. Look at what happened between November 2025 and right now. XRP spot ETFs launched. 7 of them are now trading in the United States. Cumulative inflows crossed $1.24 billion. They went 35 consecutive trading days without a single outflow. That's a streak that Bitcoin and Ethereum couldn't match. Canary Capital's CEO Stephen McClurg confirmed that XRP captures roughly 50% of all new capital flowing into altcoin ETFs. 50%. While Bitcoin ETFs were bleeding 1.38 billion in outflows in early January, XRP ETFs were posting net gains. That is a structural shift in how institutional money views XRP. And yet, what happened to the price? It went down. XRP was trading around $2.40 in early January. By early March, it's sitting at $1.39. The ETFs kept buying, the price kept falling. Why? Because the gap between the ETF domino and the regulatory domino is where the shakeout happens. Institutions are accumulating through ETFs at lower and lower prices, while retail is panic selling into their hands. This is how wealth transfers work. And this is exactly why I said most holders will still lose even if the theory is correct. Now here's where it gets really interesting, and this is the piece I want you to pay very close attention to. The next domino in the sequence is regulation, specifically the Clarity Act, and the timing on this one has never been tighter. Brad Garlinghouse went on Fox Business and put the odds of the Clarity Act passing by April at 80%. The White House set a March 1st target to resolve the stablecoin yield dispute that's been holding everything up. The bill already passed the House with bipartisan support, 294 to 134. JP Morgan just published a report calling the Clarity Act a decisive catalyst for crypto markets, and here's the detail most people missed. There's a grandfather clause in the bill. If you have a spot ETF listed before January 1st, 2026, your token gets classified as a commodity. XRP has 7 spot ETFs. It qualifies. That means XRP would officially be classified as a digital commodity under federal law, not a security, a commodity under CFTC jurisdiction instead of the SEC. Do you understand what that means? Drop hold in the comments right now if you're not selling before this bill passes. I want to see how many of us understand what's coming. Here's what I think happens in the first 72 hours after the Clarity Act passes. And this is pure speculation based on historical patterns, not financial advice. First, you're going to see a sharp sell-off. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but every major crypto regulatory event follows the same pattern. Buy the rumor, sell the news. The people who've been holding through months of pain will finally see green and take profits. I think you could see XRP spike to somewhere between $1.80 and $2 and then pull back hard to maybe $1.50 or even lower within the first 48 hours. But here's the part nobody is talking about. That sell-off is temporary, because what happens in week 2 and week 3 after regulatory clarity is where the real money gets made. Banks that have been sitting on the sidelines waiting for legal protection can finally move. BNY Mellon, Fidelity, Citi, they've all been positioning around XRP and Ripple's stablecoin RLUSD, but they couldn't go all in without regulatory clarity. The day that clarity arrives, compliance departments across Wall Street light up green, and institutional capital doesn't trickle in. It floods. Ripple has been building for exactly this moment. This is the part that even most XRP supporters haven't fully grasped. Ripple acquired Hidden Road and rebranded it as Ripple Prime. They acquired G Treasury and turned it into Ripple Treasury. They bundled stablecoin issuance, custody, and digital identity into a product called Ripple One. They received conditional OCC approval for Ripple National Trust Bank. They applied for a Federal Reserve master account. If that gets approved, Ripple would hold RLUSD reserves directly at the central bank. They're not building a crypto company anymore. They're building the plumbing of the next financial system. And XRP is the water that flows through those pipes. Now let me give you the tactical framework. This is what the other videos don't give you. This is the actual plan. And before I share this, I want to be crystal clear. This is not financial advice. This is what I'm personally looking at and researching. You need to do your own due diligence. But I think there are 3 phases every XRP holder needs to understand. Phase 1 is what I call the accumulation window. We are in it right now. XRP at $1.39, sitting in extreme fear territory with a fear and greed index of 11, 5 red months in a row, and March historically delivering an average 18% return for XRP. On-chain data shows we're in capitulation territory on the net unrealized profit loss indicator. That means the majority of holders are sitting on unrealized losses. Historically, XRP capitulation phases last about 1 month before reversing. This one started in early February. If the pattern holds, we could see the reversal begin in the first week of March. Consider whether this is the time to be adding to your position, not running away from it. Phase 2 is what I call the clarity catalyst. This happens when the Clarity Act passes. Remember, Garlinghouse puts the odds at 80% by April. Poly market bettors have it at 82% by year end. When this happens, expect volatility in both directions. The smart move, in my opinion, is not to try to time the exact moment. It's to already be positioned before it happens. Because if you're trying to buy XRP the day the Clarity Act passes, you're competing with every institution that's been waiting on the sidelines, and institutions move faster than you. Phase 3 is what I call the structural repricing. This is where the domino theory actually pays off for holders who survive the gaps. ETF inflows accelerate because institutions now have full legal clarity to allocate to XRP. Ripple's banking infrastructure goes live at scale. Cross-border payment volume spikes. Exchange reserves continue to decline as more XRP gets locked in custody and institutional vaults, and the price starts to reflect the actual utility and adoption rather than just speculation and sentiment. Let me put some numbers on this because I know that's what you want to hear. If ETF inflows sustain at $300 million per month through 2026, that's $3.6 billion for the year. Each billion in inflows locks roughly 500 million XRP. That's almost 3 billion XRP removed from circulation just through ETFs alone. Add to that the 700 million XRP that's already left Binance over the last 15 months. Add the 200 million that just left in the last 10 days. Add Ripple's escrow that locks billions more. The circulating supply available for trading is shrinking rapidly. Standard Chartered's Jeffrey Kendrick projected XRP at $8 by end of 2026 in his most aggressive forecast. Consensus analyst estimates cluster around 3 to 350. But here's what I think people are missing. Those estimates were made before the Clarity Act reached this level of momentum, before Ripple had a conditional bank charter, before 7 ETFs were absorbing supply daily, before exchange reserves hit 8-year lows. The setup is actually better than what those analysts modeled. Is XRP your biggest crypto holding right now? Comment below and tell me your realistic price target for this cycle. I want to see where this community stands. Now I want to address something that Rich touched on in his video that I think is critically important. He mentioned the Great Reset, and I know that phrase carries a lot of baggage, but strip away the conspiracy and look at what's actually happening in the financial system right now. SBI Holdings, one of Ripple's biggest strategic partners in Japan, just announced they're issuing $64.5 million in on-chain bonds that reward investors with XRP. These bonds will be issued, settled, and administered entirely on-chain. Trading starts on the Osaka Digital Exchange in March 2026. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's a real Japanese financial institution putting real money on XRP ledger infrastructure. Morgan Stanley just applied for a federal trust bank charter, specifically for digital asset custody. They manage $9 trillion in client assets. They filed for spot Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum ETFs in January. They named a head of digital asset strategy. When the biggest names in traditional finance are building infrastructure for digital assets, the question isn't whether the financial system is transforming. The question is whether you're positioned on the right side of that transformation. Now let me bring this all the way back to the domino theory and why most people will still get this wrong. The dominoes aren't going to fall in one clean sequence over a weekend. Jake Claver himself admitted his timeline was off. That's the nature of systemic events. They take longer than you think, but when they accelerate, they move faster than anyone expects. The oil spikes are happening. The Clarity Act is heading toward a vote. ETFs are absorbing supply at a historic pace. Whale accumulation is at record levels. Exchange reserves are at multi-year lows. Ripple is building institutional banking infrastructure. The dominoes are lined up. Some have already fallen. The ones that haven't are wobbling. But the gap between each domino is where you either build your position or lose it. The people who panicked sold during the 40% drawdown. They handed their XRP to institutions buying through ETFs at lower prices. The people who will panic sell the news when the Clarity Act passes. They'll hand their positions to the banks that have been waiting for legal clarity to go all in. If you think the Clarity Act passing is actually good for XRP long term, comment yes below. If you think it's already priced in, comment no. I want to hear both sides. Here's what I want you to take away from this video. The domino theory is not wrong, but being right about the theory and being positioned to profit from it are completely different things. The tactical framework matters more than the macro thesis. Accumulate during the fear, be positioned before the catalyst, and hold through the structural repricing. That is the plan the other videos aren't giving you. Share this with one other XRP holder who needs to hear this, because I guarantee someone in your circle is sitting on their XRP bag right now wondering what to do, watching the price drop, and thinking about selling. This video might be the thing that keeps them in the game long enough to win. If you got value from this, smash that like button. Subscribe for daily XRP analysis that gives you an actual plan, not just headlines. And if you want member-only XRP price analysis, join my XRP army. The link is in the description. The dominoes are falling. The question is whether you're positioned to catch them or standing in the way. I'll see you in the next one.